Ah, the French champagne.
I'll give a shout out to, and I mentioned how the core premise is stronger in Rat Race, and it's stronger throughout. It's, to be honest, my favorite part of the movie is the old guys gambling. It is pretty consistently funny because every time we cut back to them, we see either as the scene or in the background of the phone call with John Cleese or whatever, that they are continuously betting on everything they can, from his assistant eating a chocolate from a big box of chocolates and then betting on what flavor it is, to how long maids can hang on to the
that was funny,
to the curtain rods. And then also the best one is when he has his assistant give a very, what's the description for the prostitute? We're gonna get naked, we're gonna put on sailor hats,
get in a tub full of Pepto-Bismol.
Full of Pepto-Bismol. Yeah. I'm gonna clip your toenails and you shave my buttocks. And then she says, and then she's like, that'll be 3,000. And then they all come out from different parts of the room, like, who had 3,000? Yeah. Like that is great. That Apparently is a very funny bit.
There were a whole bunch more they filmed, including playing Monopoly with real money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even when they're flying out to meet them at the Smash Mouth concert, they're like flying wonkily to bet which one will throw up first.
That was my favorite.
That was your favorite?
To see who would barf first. I thought it was
Mr.
so
Kamichi.
funny.
Dave Thomas as the assistant who John Cleese introduces as unfortunately having been born without a personality. Is that's 2 weeks in a row we've had an SCTV alumni. We had Joe Flaherty last time and Dave Thomas this time. So I'd like, let's keep that going. Let's keep that going, Jack. Next week, John Candy. Yeah.
John Candy. All right. You got it.
Who's the character? Is it SCTV where he plays that guy plays the really like stereotypical Canadian Doug in something?
The Hosers.
Yeah, that's SCTV.
The Hosers.
That's Dave Thomas and Joe Flaherty. Pretty sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not.
They're fun.
It's not Rick Moranis?
Oh, no. It is Rick Moranis. Yeah. No, my apologies. Yeah.
You are hereby banished from Canada.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. So overall, I feel like we've kind of said it. Like these movies are a bunch of little stories.
Yeah.
It's really, there's a core premise, and then everyone goes off on their own tangents, and they meet up at the end. The meetup at the end, luckily for Rat Race, is pretty tight. Like it's pretty short.
Has a resolution.
Yeah, it has a resolution. The one for Rat Race or for Mad Mad World goes on forever. They're running around that park. Like there are 40 minutes left when they get to the big W.
Yeah, because then they have to go on a road chase again.
Yeah.
And then that ladder scene was just exhausting.
I was like, please let them die.
Yeah.
They should have all died.
Yeah. I'm glad they all ended up at least in hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would have been like properly dark if one of them was like, oh, where's so-and-so? It's like, no, he went through a window. He's dead.
He's dead. And
there was one guy who just fell like from the top of the ladder just onto the ground.
Yeah. into like 4 inches of water in a fountain or something.
Concrete you're fucking dead, dude. There's you're not surviving that.
They fell off a palm tree like onto a table of food. It's like, you're dead. It was the old guy who got thrown through. He zip-lined down an electrical wire, through a window, and then through the floor.
Right.
That dude's dead.
Yeah.
He also outran everyone as like a 70-something-year-old up all those stairs.
Hey, Spencer Tracy outruns everyone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. So overall, similar movies, obviously, very similar.
Very similar.
Rat Race, way cleaner. Like, and it manages to like do the thing though where it does go over the top in like a way that feels actually appropriate. Where like Mad Mad World feels like it wants to go there but doesn't know how, so they just stay trapped in the basement. Whereas Rat Race is like they're trapped in the basement for a scene and then they get out by the end of the scene, and then the next scene is them having a new obstacle.
Yeah.
Whereas Mad Mad World is like, oh, like their car broke again.
I just think that humor wasn't there yet, though, right? Like comedy wasn't at a place in 1963 to go to the places that Rat Race goes in 2001.
Yeah.
I think.
Sure. Yeah. It would like Rat Race. The things they do in Rat Race would never have been allowed. Like just having someone come out dressed up as Hitler was still like 8 years away from being okay when Mel Brooks did it.
Yeah.
So
And in a lot of ways, you can see, I saw this movie kind of laying the groundwork for future films like the Mel Brooks stuff.
yes,
So
for sure. And Airplane, a lot of stuff for Airplane.
Yeah.
Totally.
My last story note. In addition to the dancing brother and his girlfriend, I thought the air traffic controller tower was a really tight little group of comedians. They only had like 2 or 3 little cutaway things, and I thought they nailed every single one of them.
They were good, and it should have been cut.
Probably.
Or they should have just like had it happen and have the plane land already.
Yes.
Instead of, anyway, they shouldn't need to cut this movie a lot.
My last story note is kind of like a story gripe that I have with our protagonist, Breckin Meyer, going off on this adventure with, what's her name? Amy something? Amy Smart, after she has demonstrated that she is clearly fucking batshit crazy.
I mean, he had it coming though, right?
He had it coming. She fucking chases him down the street in a helicopter.
Yeah.
And then
we don't know the abuses he has wrought on her.
She's also been with him for 5 months, she says in the movie, and has a tattoo of his name.
And bought his truck. He's a bum. Dean, what's his name?
Dean Cain.
Dean Cain is a bum.
Miscast, underused in this movie, by the way. Underused. He had already played Superman at this point. He needed to be treated. He was Superman in Superman and Lois in the TV show.
Oh, fuck. So he was.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
I want more for Dean Cain.
More for Dean Cain. And more for Jack Rennie.
More for Dean Cain. Hey, Jack, what are you looking at there?
Looking off into the sunset there.
I'm looking off into the sunset. We're just having a small incident over here.
Oh, dear.
No.
It's very windy in Toronto today. So we have some kind of furniture out on the balcony, and stuff is blowing over.
Well, we can take looks. You go batten down the hatches, and we'll start looks, shall we?
Or
are you good?
My only story gripe is that people probably were uproariously laughing throughout Mad Mad World back in the 60s, and I was kind of like, you bastards. That was it.
Probably would have been funny then. Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Okay. End of round. Looks good. I'll be back in a second.
All right. Looks good. Daniel, what are your thoughts on looks?
I actually surprisingly enjoyed the look of It's a Mad World.
I am inclined to agree with you there, good sir.
Yeah. I thought that it was... I'm always skeptical when it comes to these really old movies. I maybe haven't seen enough of them to fully appreciate the quality, the visual quality of them. But I thought that the visual gags in this, just like the general kind of lighting and composition of the film, I thought was actually quite beautiful for a lot of it. But I also thought that they had some really good visual gags in this film that were a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I thought the ladder scene, exhausting and horribly choreographed, but looked kind of fun.
I don't know. I thought it looked like a bunch of little model people stuck to a model fire truck.
For sure, and that's what it was. But it was the 60s, and how else are you going to do that?
I don't know. But Godzilla had come out prior to this, and they did better model effects than
Godzilla was in black and white, though. You can hide a lot in black and white.
That is true.
I also think that if that scene in the movie had come at minute 93 instead of 247, you might appreciate it a bit more. If they had cut out all of the trimmed all the fat in this movie and just kept it to those tight visual gags they had, I think it would have been 1,000 times better, because the jokes, the visual comedy was actually pretty good. All the stuff with the gas station, I thought it was absurd, but I loved it. Yeah,
when they're chasing him around the car and he rips the door off, but then he picks the door rack up, puts it in the car, and drives away. I thought that was hilarious. Yeah. Yeah,
I guess we probably should have talked about in story how that guy is just fucking superhuman.
Phil Silvers, or
was that his name? The delivery guy, the truck driver.
Delivery guy. Yeah, I guess so. I think
he
he's
has
just filled
fucking
with rage,
Hulk-like
right?
strength. He's ripping doors off cars.
He's a big fella.
Yeah, I guess he fucking ripped the pillar out of a fucking house.
Yeah. He's a big fella.
Yes.
Citizen Kane of the week is